Welcome to FIMFAST, a conversation series from Musing with Leesi, where we explore the people, ideas, and realities shaping the creative industries. Through these conversations, we're learning more about the thinking, discipline, and decisions behind creative work and what it takes for great ideas to thrive. This week, we hear from professionals working across media, fashion, film, theater, and music and intellectual property. At the heart of every creative work is something deeply personal. For some, it begins with an idea. For others, it's a vision, a character, a casting decision, or even the protection of creative work itself. So this week, I asked creatives from 5 different industries one simple question. What part of the creative process feels personal to you?
Okay, with creativity generally, I think the creative process, there isn't anyone you would find, whether there is in the media or any part of or entertainment generally, music, movies, fashion, and more, where the actual creative process is not most personal to them. And when I say the creative process, I mean conceptualization. When it hits you in your head that this is exactly what I would like to do with this. So whether you're the one creating, giving transportation out to the creative process, the whole idea of how you give birth to methodology, it's a magic moment, it's an aha moment. I mean, I really don't know anyone who wouldn't think that that's the most personal part for him or her. You kind of explain it half of the time. Many people will tell you that the voice spoke to them. Many people will tell you that it happens in rare circumstances. I have friends who say when
I usually call mine the shower moment.
Exactly. So you see, with creativity, with anything generally, I think that everybody will find that very easily a spot that they can refer to as the most personal to them, because it's truly a personal, in the most literal sense of the word, personal moment. You feel like there's a direct connect between you and a higher power that told you something the average person is going to be wowed about. So for me, conceptualization generally about anything, even in the media space, even in the spreading of information space, the concept of how it is going to be done, the acquisition mentally.
I would say it's when the idea comes to you, because there's this excitement when an idea comes to you, especially an idea you haven't done before. For a creative, yes, it could be challenging. I always look out for challenging ideas, something new. We like doing a brand new design that you haven't seen anywhere or you will not see anywhere. Because we're trying to build a signature brand where if you see our brand, you say, yeah, I think this looks like Eco Lagos pieces. Yes, so I think the idea, because when they come to you in your mind, one thing you would think about is, how do we achieve this? What fabric, what designs, what appliques, what would you use to, make it come to life? Especially if you are making a 3D design. So that thought makes that's like my original person. So it makes me excited, and that's where I would say that's me. When it comes to the idea, it could be exciting, it could be challenging, but I like it. It keeps me going. So yes,
that core aspect of the creative process that I think I try not to treat with kid gloves. I try not to second to anyone else. There's that part where once I have decided this is the script, and the script is in a ready-to-go format, that is to say, all works necessary to fine-tuning the story, bringing the script to a ready-to-shoot model. from that point, I become very jealous about my job. Jealous because I love to be very intentional about molding the actors into the character requirement necessary for telling the story that I want to tell. That part is for me the most special, is for me the most important. Not that is what I love to tell stories, and I love to see characters come to life. Yes, I love to see characters become what the original specification, the original expectations of them are, without which a good story cannot be told. You have a story that is not fully told. So it is always important for me to ensure that all characters are not sounding the same, because they're supposed to be different individuals, they're supposed to be different personalities. I want to see what is required of you, what you are, the script has told us you are, which I agree with as the director. Because a writer can give you a character specification for a particular character. And as the director, you can look at it and say, no, I don't think this character towing this part will help the overall realization of the story we have on the table. So I would rather he or she goes this way. But at the point where you agree with the script that this is what we want of this character, it is important that I want to get the fullest of what is possible from that character.
Okay, so as a producer, what feels most personal? Casting. Yeah. It's not easy to cast. Like, that's a huge burden, that's a huge responsibility. So I would say the casting process, because once you get your casting wrong, you've gotten everything wrong. The costume is not going to help. The story, how good or how bad it is, isn't going to help. The directing isn't going to help. Once you get your casting wrong, you have already failed your audience. That's my belief. So casting is very, very, very important.
Okay, so for me, what feels most personal to me is not just reviewing contracts or drafting them. What feels personal to me is protecting creatives. A bulk of my work does not end at contract reviews or drafting. My main goal, usually and always, is to make sure that the creatives I work with or I engage with are well protected. They are not just well protected, they are not taken advantage of
very important
by other people in the industry. There are sharks in this industry.
Yes, I agree.
In fact, there are sharks in every industry.
True. Those answers offered a glimpse into what creatives care about most. But creative work is often judged by what people see on the surface, and sometimes what people see isn't the full story. So, I asked the second question. What's one thing people misunderstand about your industry?
The fact that everyone thinks every tailor is a designer. So every tailor is tailor is not a designer. And this is one mistake they make. So you want a particular style, you're giving to a tailor. A tailor doesn't have time to create. They may not really have time to give you options. If you send a picture, they will just create what you you give them. Most of them might not care if it will come out nice. Again, a designer would even consider your skin tone. If you come for consultation, they would check your skin if the fabric will be comfortable on your skin. That's what a designer. So it's different. Tailors and designers are not the same.
One is people think that it just play. People think that they're just playing. And what they don't realize is that theater is a discipline. And we usually say this thing that second to soldiers, like you being in the theater, is the next thing. So that's one misconception. The second misconception, especially in Nigeria, is that theater people are Raz. We use Raz,
What?
Yes. And abroad, everybody knows that theater is for the elite.
Absolutely.
They don't understand that we have all walks of class in the theater space. We have the middle class. We have all of them.
In my case with the media, I would call it the myth, but I would also say that I understand. I'm not baffled by the fact that it's a myth, because I see from the inside what it's like. And in this case, it will be where the perception of practitioners in the media, as placed by the profession, the platform, I see where it is in the eyes of those that look at them. In reality, the perception of the industry of their value as clearly measured by things like how much they get paid, how they get treated, the way the West looks at the practitioner of media is not the same. The guy who practices media is a rock star in the West, if you know what I mean.
True. I get that.
Yeah, the practitioner is naturally viewed as larger than life in Africa, in Nigeria. It's what the box does to you. It's what the pages do to you of the paper. It's what your voice on radio does for you. It's what the perception is that you are like gatekeeper, kingmaker. You are the man. Okay? And in the media world, those who truly execute communication, those who are trained and are experts at them, those who have gone to school to study them, come out of the university and taking special classes, training schools, they're still not giving the kind of regard that an actor who was born yesterday would get. I'm talking about seasoned men and women who have spent years behind the camera, years in the field, years writing, developing scripts. The people who are in charge of communicating, introducing you to the world that you like, your entertainment world, they're seen as really big people. Like, of course, lately, some of them are beginning to live like superstars. But that is a solid exception. Up until today, it's an exception. But the truly trained ones, most of them, have not gotten to the point where the industry itself values them for what they bring to the table. And what they bring to the table is everything. You take them out, I guarantee you everything falls apart.
Everything is gone.
I'll give you a personal story to buttress this point. I had a diploma in banking and finance from the University of Jos. I went on to study economics as my first degree, and then I went on to do my master's in marketing. Okay, I did a couple of more things to still enrich the academia, if I was, to say that. But then my passion eventually was this. I ended up doing TV. Okay? What I was earning as a TV person was so little that I painfully decided to walk away from my dream temporarily. And I moved from a TV house. It was one of the biggest TV houses in Africa, actually. The only one to be beaming directly from Lagos to London directly at the time. The only TV station that had the Premier League being played. That's where I worked. We were at the top of the top. And I mean, there was nothing wrong with what the owner was doing. He was paying industry standard. So that's why I say it's not about an individual here. The industry itself generally has never really looked at the communicator, the broadcaster, the journalist, the writer. They've never looked at them as important as they should look at them. And so they never get the kind of treatment that they should get. They never get it.
Well, without a doubt, that would speak to the erroneous impression that most people have of the industry being a place for sexual perverts. Yeah, and nobody becomes anything unless you are ready to be a sex slave to some big actor, to some director, to some producer, as the case may be. It will be the very wrong impression that people have that the space is rife with broken marriages. Once you join the industry, if you were once married or your marriage would break up. If you're not married yet, chances are that you will not find anyone to marry you. And these are very false and sometimes very annoying narratives that people project. Because of the kind of work we do, a lot of people are victims of celebrity exposure, such that whatever you do, I mean, it's instant news. So when you have some unsavory, some star incident involving a practitioner, it is blown up to assume a bigger than life posturing.
Reality.
To the extent that everybody just feel that, oh, that's what happens.
And it's even worse in this day of social media, isn't it?
For instance, an actor dies. You and I know that people die. As we speak now, we don't have should I call it an instrument to determine how many persons have passed on today all over the world.
True.
But if one musician, one actor is one of those numbers, it would appear that in the last 10 years, nobody has died anywhere. And the question someone will poke at you is, why are people in your industry always dying? Just because someone passed. Maybe in the banking industry that day, maybe themselves they had their own fair share.
They lost something.
You know, maybe in the medical profession, in the law profession and all that. But because of what I call celebrity exposure, what I just described as celebrity exposure, this becomes, why not just he died? You are saying, who died? You know, you say, this was actor don't die. But that's just one person. You are making it sound like, I mean, actors die.
In the past 10 days, 10 people have died.
You hear that somebody's marriage is broken. Go to the customary courts and you'll be amazed at the number of marriages that are breaking every day. You'll be amazed at the number of people that are applying for divorces every day. But if one celebrity is involved, it becomes, these people say, marriage no dey last. Nobody talks about the marriages that have lasted forever. All the marriages that are healthy and doing great, nobody talks about that. It is the negative that people want to, push.
Now, one thing people do is they think that because they are talented and that's enough.
Okay.
So a lot of times I meet creatives because I work majorly in the music space. I'm going to be making references to artists,
To the music industry, and that is fine. Yeah.
Now, most of the time when artists approach you and they say that bet on me, I can do this, I am talented, I tell them that talent, if that's the only thing you are bringing to the table, it's not enough. Because your talent gets you in the room. It gives you an opportunity to get in the room. It gives you an opportunity to get into spaces that you wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah.
But what keeps you in that room is structure. Now, I think that what most creatives get wrong is that the focus is on the art alone. And if you are a creative, your focus cannot be solely and only on the art. You have to touch other areas of what you do. The art, ownership, structure, the business side of things. Because collaboration comes in when you think outside, I am talented. You know you are talented, you have the talent, but you have spotted another creative who is as well talented as you. Think of yourself. But you have thought of the business and think, okay, if I collaborate with this person, we can touch new audiences. Because one of the sole purpose of collaborating in music is to touch new audience. When Wizkid collaborates with Chris Brown, he's taking his art to Chris Brown's audience.
To the international audience.
Chris Brown is bringing his own heart to Wizkid's audience.
Africa.
So when the two of them merge together, both fan bases.
Across all industries, the answers were different, but one thing stood out. Creative work is more than talent. Behind every production, performance, design, story, and song is someone making decisions, solving problems, and caring deeply about the work they bring into the world. Perhaps that's what makes creative work so personal. Thank you for joining us for week 1 of FIMFAST. What part of your work feels most personal to you? And what's one misconception you'd like to challenge today? Join the conversation.